Hello everybody, I've had a problem, as I thought I might do, with my tablet, which is that it seems to cut me off after a certain amount of time. I'm pretty aware that I think the videos are going to have to come in several parts, so I'm really sorry. It might be part 1, part 2, part 3. I'm not very good at putting these things together, but hopefully it will figure it out somehow, so I'm sorry about that. So let me go back to what I was telling you about the thread. So this is one of the rainbow threads that I got. I just think that's really lovely. All the colours of the rainbow. I've got a lovely kind of peach and yellow one, which I thought looks really sort of summery and fresh. And there's also this lovely one, which is a blend of blue and pink. So yeah, so it's really nice. The company is called De Havilland Embroidery, and I'm going to put this up here quickly. So God, you might have to flip this round somehow. So let me just read it to you. So they're called De Havilland Embroidery. So DE and then HAVILAND, De Havilland Embroidery. They're based in London, and their telephone number's 0207 289 2123. And this is their silky embroidery thread, and it says individually hand dyed. So I feel like these are possibly replicas of silk threads, but I might be wrong. So I'd be really interested if anybody is used to stitching with silks, which I know a lot of you are. If you could help me out with that, that would be really good. I really don't care either way. I'm happy to stitch with these, but I just was interested to know whether they really are silk threads or not. The other thing I wanted to ask is, I think that the lady said to me that usually people only use one thread of them because they're quite thick. But so I'd be, you know, if somebody could kind of let me know how you use them. I've just actually looked at them more closely, and the texture of them is actually quite different. It's almost like got a few strands to one, but it's all quite fluffy. So yeah, if anybody could enlighten me a little bit about how you use them, I'd really appreciate it, because it does look as though there's a certain way that you might need to use them. But there you go, I thought you'd be interested. Again, very slow on the uptake, but slowly getting around to the idea of maybe doing something in silks. So we'll see what happens with them. Final slurp of cold tea. You can see from my face how nice that was. Okay, so there's a couple of, I wish I could remember the name of the stall, but there is a very good stall that does, I wouldn't call it an extensive collection, but they do a collection of kind of patterned fabrics on their stall. They do some 40, they generally have 1/2 in Ada, 1/2 in even weave and linen. They go up to 32 count in the linen and even weave. I do find them, they can be a little bit difficult about cutting to a custom size that you ask them for. It's probably me, like maybe that's just because how are they supposed to calculate the price or something. So I found myself kind of getting really large kind of fabric sometimes when I didn't necessarily need it. But I will show you the projects that I've got, and I'm going to show you the thread colours that they come with as well, the colours that come into the project. But I'm also going to show you these two fabrics that I don't have a specific project in mind for, but I think would be nice. These are both, as far as I'm aware, 28 count even weave, and they're kind of what I don't know what the measurements are, but I would say that they're a small to medium piece of fabric. So the first one is this. This actually looks a little bit like it could do with a wash, to be honest, and yeah, it's not really just showing you a proper reflection. It's a shame, this camera, some of it's coming out well, some of it's not so much. Oh yeah, sorry, I thought I stopped recording. So this is, maybe if I describe it to you, it's a white fabric with some kind of pastel-y sort of dots on it. And it very much is those kind of pastel colours that you might expect in a baby project. So I don't have anything particular in mind, but there's loads of babies being born like every year with people I know. So I'm going to hold out and see if that's something that could be used for a baby sampler or something. It's quite a busy fabric, so I might have to be sort of mindful of which one I use it with. But yeah, I really like that, and I think that's one that I could make use of. I wouldn't say that these are the best quality fabrics, and to be honest, they're the kind of thing that if I had the time and money at the moment, I'd probably just go to Pole Stitches or somewhere and buy a nicer version of them. But these were like the cheap alternative to some of those fabrics. So I think kind of ardent cross stitchers would probably not think the quality is amazing on these things, to be honest. But for those of you that are looking for a slightly more budget version of hand-dyed fabric, and would just like to kind of, you know, have something that you can use for a kind of non-luxury project that you're not too worried about it looking massively expensive and nice, you know, these are okay really. So I got another piece which was a blue sky kind of fabric, and I thought that's nice. There's a few things I've seen, and again this could probably be used for a baby design, but there's a few things I've seen that in magazines that I thought might look nice on that fabric. So I'm going to keep those two bits of fabric aside. It's not dyed on the other side either, it's white, so it is, I mean, it's quite a coarse texture. I wouldn't say it's got that nice luxury feel to it. It says here, I don't know if this was the shop or whether this was just the place they got it from, but this is called, it says sewitall.com, and it's called Cloud Autumn Sky. Let me just see if there's a name on this other one that I showed you. There is, I think, and the other one was called Confetti. So try them out. I mean, that now I've said that rings a bell slightly, that sewitall.com web address. So I don't remember that being the name of the people running the store, so I don't know whether they buy that from somebody else, but that's where they've come from anyway. So they're okay fabrics. So the first one that I wanted to show you is a kit that is a bit different for me. It's something that I just kind of took my fancy really, and it strikes me as something that I can probably stitch up quite quickly. So this is designed by Felicity Hall, and it's from the September 2015 Cross Stitcher magazine, and they estimate that it takes around 75 hours. Recommended on a 28 count even weave. So just to show you, first of all, it doesn't, I think it's just called a nightlight sampler, or nightlight it's just called. So there we go, Phases of the Moon. I think it's really cool, I really like that. So that's in September 2015 Cross Stitcher magazine. And the threads that it calls for, there's a few that I'm missing, but it's quite a basic palette. So there's 3582, which I have bobbinated, which is a lovely golden colour. There's 3822, which is like a lighter yellow. There's your good old black, which is 310. Bobbinated that one as well. And Blanc white as well, and there's a couple of other colours, a couple of grey colours that it calls for, which I haven't actually I haven't been able to find yet. I decided to go for a midnight kind of blue one. I thought that actually I was quite surprised looking at it that they didn't choose a more dark fabric, because I actually think that for anything to do with the moon and the sun and stuff, I thought that it would have looked really popped on this. So it's a dark blue one, and I have started on the middle, which is the bit that says the earth. So I'm just doing that. I kind of stopped, to be honest, because it's getting to the section where I really need to do a lot of grey, which is the colour that I couldn't find. It's also a colour that I need for another project I've got. So this is actually one of my favourite of the new starts, but I haven't really been able to get properly started with that yet, because actually I'm waiting for a few things. So that will come soon, I'm sure. It's not one I'm in any massive rush, because I think that will probably be just for myself, so that will get done when it gets done, really. So the one that I've been started last night, it's from the Ultimate Cross Stitch. I'll show you. It is from the Ultimate Cross Stitch Fantasy Volume 6 2015 edition. It's this pattern here. I'll show you the page that it's actually on. It's by Joan Elliott, and it's approximately 100 hours, and it calls for the actual pattern calls for pole stitches, 28 count, fairy dreams, even weave. I've actually used a cheaper version that I found from that stall, but here it is. Here is the design. It's probably one you're quite familiar with. It's probably a popular one from that issue, so that's the one I'm doing. I just thought it was really nice. I like sort of fairy tale type things, so that's what I'll be doing. And I am using same store sewitall.com, and this is called Cloud Blue / Pink. This is the massive piece I'm working on, but just to show you, it's a very faint kind of pastel-y blue and pink hand-dyed fabric, which unfortunately again isn't coming through very well. I don't often use a hoop, as you know, but I have started doing a small amount of stitches in a blue, which is on the design I'm kind of working on. I think it's that bit there or that bit there of blue. So I'll keep you posted with her. I think it's, you know, it's going to be good when it finishes. So to show you some of the shades, I'm missing some, but these are some of the colours that it calls for. 827, 826, 926, 945, 746, 3747, 3350, 150, 869, 826, which I think I may have already said. That's a couple of those. 3770, 827 again, 3350, 928, 3746. That's coming out more blue on the screen. That's slightly more purpley than blue. It's like a lavender purple. 813, 3752, 340. Again, coming out more blue, but that's actually slightly more purpley. It's like a light dusky purple. 553, 813, and 562. There are some colours missing from this, but yeah, it's a lovely lovely collection of lots of muted blues, lots of kind of, and then a couple of kind of purples and strong reds coming through. So that's really nice. Really looking forward to kind of getting more done on that. It'd be interesting to do more of, I should have mentioned, I don't think I mentioned it's a Joan Elliott piece. It'd be interesting to do a Joan Elliott piece of that size. One of the ones that I've got that I can't start, unfortunately, is this here. So this is from the February 2015 edition, and it's called Locked on You, I think, and it is designed by Emma Congdon, who's one of my favourite designers. Estimated time 29 hours, and it only needs 2 shades. It needs white 002, which I've got here, but it also needs 415, which is the grey that I need in the moon design, which is annoying. But just to show you, that's what it looks like. It's one of the ones I want to do it for home for me and my boyfriend, because I find that a lot of these things end up being about married couples, and there's lots of kind of wedding ones. There's not so many that you can just have for a boyfriend and girlfriend. So I really liked this one, and it's probably, you know, quite a quick stitch. So I'm kind of waiting to have what I need. And again, same stall that I bought all of the others from. Trying to see if this has a name to it. I don't think it does actually, but it's just this grey kind of 28 count even weave here. It might even be 32 count actually, because I have a feeling for one of them I could only get the 28 count. So that's that. So that will probably be one I just get to as and when I've got. I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid soonish, in about a week or so. But to be honest, we're going away for a weekend soon in Sussex, which will be nice. And also, to be honest, I kind of feel like let's just try and get as far as I can with the projects, with the colours that I have. The moon's probably the only exception because it's going to be a bit of a pain not being able to do that grey. And then I'll get to the others when I can. So I might not even spend that money yet. Until I really need it, because I'm aware that actually you can kit up a project and you know, not need particular aspects of it for quite a while. So the next one I want to show you, I love Belen Designs. I really like them, and I always see them and want to do them and then just don't get around to it. I don't tend to see them in kits. They probably do come in kits, but I've only ever seen them in magazines. But this is the January 2015 cross stitcher, and they did a Belen special actually. And here we are. So this is, let me just get the details for you on it. So designed by Belen, stitch time 50 hours approximately, and it calls for 25 count cream even weave. I think this was the one that I got the wrong one for, because they only really had 28 count of everything, so it will come out a bit smaller. But there we go. I thought that was really nice. It was something I thought my other auntie might like actually. It's something, it's just, I just got a feeling that it's the kind of thing, it looks a little bit like what she did when she was a little girl, and I thought she might like that. So I might give it to her as a gift as and when I get it done. How many hours did it say again? It said, I think I told you just in case, 50 hours. So in terms of a cross stitch project, it's probably not loads and loads. There's quite a lot of block stitching you can do there on the chair. So I decided that this would look nice on a real kind of rustic, proper kind of dark linen. So I've got this linen. I'm hoping that it's not too dark. I'm hoping that what will happen is the colours will pop on it more. But I'm just worried when it gets to things like her hair that it might not show, you know, it might not contrast as well. But I liked the idea of doing it on this. So this is a 28 count kind of really dark linen. From the same place, the sewitall.com place. To show you some of the colours again, a couple of them are missing. Actually quite a few from this are missing, but just to give you an idea of the colour palette. So again, we've got white, we've got 975, 315, dusky pink colour, 816, 3743, 3833, 722, 347, 3841, white again, 3802. Sorry, that's my stomach rumbling. 3863, 3713, and 3832. So there's some really lovely kind of dusky, sort of dusky pinks and kind of quite autumnal, kind of orangey brown colours in this. So that's why I thought that against this, for example, that would just really kind of show off some of those colours. So I felt, I just had an instinct that this piece would look good with those colours. I might actually start this one today because it's one of the ones I thought, oh, I'm not, not as in a rush to do that, and I started with Cinderella, but I actually think it will be quite a nice thing to get started on, so I might do that today. So I think by my calculations we've been going about 50 minutes an hour, but obviously I've been cut off of one video. So let me think. Yeah, I think I'll keep going, and I think I'll show you the magazines, but obviously warning alert that this is going to be a really long video. I'm going to try not to take too much time over them and just show you what they are really. So I got, again, another idea I got from Katie Agruso, who does, her video is, what am I thinking, Stash Queen. I really like her YouTube channel. She's one of my favourite sort of floss tubers. So I noticed that she has, for example, she has lots of hand-dyed fabrics, and to go through them all would take so long. So she kind of takes one brand at a time. So today I'm going to show you the Ultimate Collection magazines. And I think I will show you Cross Stitch Gold magazines, and then that's actually not the biggest set of magazines I have. I have loads and loads of cross stitch crazies, but I think that's probably a video in itself. So I'm taking a kind of, I'm adapting to the situation, and I'm going to go with these first. So I'm not actually, a couple of these I'm not actually going to show you my choices in them because I haven't finished looking through them yet. Oh no, that's a lie. Have a look. Yeah, I haven't finished looking through them yet. So okay, yeah. So I'll show. No, there's only one that I can't show you. So let me try and get this in some kind of order. There's one that I ordered recently, which was a back issue that says it was 2014, but then on one of the pages in the magazines that I read is quite a recent one. So I don't know if it's one that they reprinted, but it's coming out as volume 2, which I actually think is volume 4. We'll see. Okay, so first one then is volume 2 2014, which is one of the ones that, as I say, I thought was a back issue but came out recently as well. It's Ultimate Cross Stitch Sentiments. This is all up my street. This is all patterns with sayings and things on it. I'm not going to show you my choices in this because I haven't actually finished reading this yet. So I'll leave this and I'll read this to you at another point. I'll show you the ones that I'm interested in. So the first one I can show you was 365 Cross Stitch Designs, Volume 4, 2015. I remember this was the one I was a little bit disappointed by. The idea was it was supposed to be all year round kind of stitching, and I think that's why they called it 365 Cross Stitch Designs. I actually didn't, there wasn't loads and loads I liked in here, but let me show you the ones that are my ones I like. So this is a Sun Bunny to Love one. It's not one of my favourite ever designs, but there we go. I love Sun Bunny to Love. I've never actually bought a kit. This isn't one of my favourite ones. There's a one I prefer, which is where they have bubbles. They're blowing bubbles. But this was just one that happened to be in the booklet, so I thought I'd show you that one. Yeah, these aren't massively amazing ones for me, really. Some of them I won't even show you actually because I'm not overly keen on them. This is nice. This is a design by Duran Jones. It's a cushion, and it's actually, what's quite nice about it, it's got a couple of beads on it. If you can see the bumblebee ones and ladybird ones. So that's quite nice. I genuinely quite like that one. This is one I really like actually. This is one that I'd like to do for my mum, and I actually like the way that they usually the thought of finishing anything, as in sewing something or, you know, whatever, fills me with dread, but I think I can manage this. This is a lovely tulip design, and it's designed to go in as an inset into a tray, and I think that's quite nice. I've seen trays you can buy with like a glass panel on it, so I think that's one I might do for my mum. And that was a design by Susan Bates. Oh, this is one I did really like. again by Susan Bates. I do find that these magazines, slight criticism of these magazines, that they don't branch out very much with how many designers they use, but this is a lovely kind of cake, trio of cakes designs. So I actually thought I like the idea of doing all of them, but I think realistically I probably wouldn't. I quite like the idea of doing the middle one as like a wedding piece for somebody. So no, I really did like those ones. So obviously I like Susan Bates designs by the sounds of it. Yeah, I think that's all the ones that I'm particularly bothered about in that magazine. This, on the other hand, Cross Stitch Fantasy, I had a big trouble when I was trying to decide on what one to get. I will quickly show you. I think I've shown you these ones before though, so I won't dwell on them too much. So we've got a set of designs by Belen Jones, which is these magical cards. Lucy Heaton, Castle, Fairy Tale Castle. Quite Beauty and the Beast-esque, I think. Susan Bates, unicorn design. There's loads in this one. This I really like. This is by Adam Pescott, who I've not heard of before or since. Adam Pescott, but that's a lovely translucent sort of feel to her fairy wings, which I really like. Joan Elliott. This is a pattern that I'd seen as a kind of just a general photo on a cross stitch article before and never knew who did it, and I finally realised who did it, and I think it's got some beads in this design, so that's one I really like that I'd like to do. This again, really like this one by Joan Elliott. That's one I'd like to kit up fairly soon. No, I'm not that bothered about that one. I won't show you that one. I'll show you that one. Yeah, some of these are the ones I'm not sort of massively bothered about. This one's nice. This is by Gail Bussey, whose designs I've liked a few times. So it's that top bit there, How to Be an Angel. So I read it to you. Let your light shine, sing your best song, share your heart, expect a miracle, enjoy the moment. I thought that was nice. And finally by Joan Elliott, who completely dominated this magazine actually, which I do like Joan Elliott, but I kind of felt that they could have been more inclusive of other designers, but that's one to finish up on, which I quite like. So yeah, so that's Ultimate Cross Stitch Fantasy. The next one was Ultimate Cross Stitch Christmas, which was volume 7. I think that was the last volume for last year. Looks like this at the front. Again, this was one I wasn't overly impressed with. I'm really big on Christmas stitching, but there was nothing that really sung out to me. But I'll show you what I did find. So this is by Leslie Tia. I thought that was quite nice. It's something my mum would probably quite like. Easy stitch. This is really nice. Belen Jones. I think I've got a bit of a thing for her actually, her designs. I thought that was really nice. Nice sort of winter unicorn. I thought that was quite nice. This is one I really like. Again, Susan Bates. So I'm sensing a theme here. I thought that was quite elegant and modern. It's quite nice. Oh, this I really liked. Oh no, I'm jumping ahead. Yeah, no, this I really like. This is by Leslie Tia, who is also one of my favourite sort of magazine designers. It's a lovely 12 Days of Christmas thing. I've got a bit of a thing about 12 Days of Christmas because I always see kits for this and love anything to do with 12 Days of Christmas or with the night before Christmas and stuff like that. Anything Christmas related, more or less. This is really cool. This is Lucy Heaton. And this is like a little stocking design, and this really reminds me of the film Santa Claus. I think it's Santa Claus, the one with Tim something in, and he's just amazed, you know, like he's amazed he's become Father Christmas, and he sees them in their workshop. And I always remember watching that film when I was really little, just before going to bed on Christmas Eve, so it really reminded me of that, which I liked. And this is okay, not my favourite thing in the world, but it's alright. This is by Karen Britton. It's like one of those sort of Scandi style Christmas things. I mean, not my absolute favourite, but it's quite nice. This is my most recent volume. This is Cross Stitch Home, Ultimate Cross Stitch Home, volume 8, 2016, come out very recently. I actually haven't completely finished reading this, but because I was so desperate to find things before I went to the Knit and Stitch show, I've kind of zoomed ahead. Normally I like to read everything. This is really nice. This is another one of my favourite magazine designers, Shannon Wassilev, is this lovely Houses design. I really like that. She has very clean back stitch in her designs, which I like. This is one I keep coming back to by Amanda Gregory, which is a draft excluder, which is a lovely sort of floral summery one, which I thought was nice. I think it'd be quite expensive to kit that one up because you need a lot of thread. This is sweet. This is by Jane Henderson. Not my usual style. I'm not too much country-ish in my style, but I thought that was quite nice. It's a little apple and blackberry crumble recipe, and you can do like this jam thing and recipe books, but I'd probably just do this. It's quite nice. These are cool. Again, not usually my kind of thing at all, but Jane Henderson, I just thought these were quite nice. Little, don't know what they are really. Labels. This was nice. This was by Lucy Heaton. The detail isn't amazing in this, but I thought there was something quite nice about that. And finally, I think, yeah, there we go. And this was quite nice. This isn't my usual style, but I thought it was quite a nice, easy wedding sampler to do for people. So this is by Gail Bussey again, or Bussey. That's a little sampler there, is Home Sweet Home. So yeah, so that's my ultimate cross stitch supplement ones, ultimate cross stitch designs. So I've got Fantasy, Cross Stitch Design, 365 Designs, Christmas, Home, and I've got Sentiments, which I'm just going through now, and I will show you my thoughts on that next time. Cross Stitch Crazy I'm going to leave. Cross Stitch Gold I've been subscribed for about 6 or 7 months, so not ages, but I tend to quite like Cross Stitch Gold magazine. They have a bit, I mean they are the magazine for the people that prefer more detailed stitches, so these are really good. So starting off with issue 121, which I believe is my first subscriber one. This is a design by Anne Mortimer, which is a nice lovely cushion, floral cushion. So I always tend to think of, you know, what person would like this design, and I think my grandma would. This is nice. This is an anchor design, so it doesn't attribute it to a particular person. I thought that was quite different, quite nice. And this one's nice. This is another Amanda Gregory piece, so the same person that did the draft excluder in the other one. That's nice. Issue 122 that looks like this at the front. I only have one in this one, and this is a lovely design by Susan Bates again. Oh god, ow. There you go. Nice design there. Coming to the end, guys, don't worry. 3 more magazines. Cross Stitch 123, sorry, Cross Stitch Gold issue 123, which was one of the Christmassy ones. There's quite a few in here. Emma Congdon design. Emma Congdon is one of my favourite kind of designers. She really looks like my cousin's husband's sister, which really freaks me out. This is nice. For those of you that like those kind of typographic designs, Emma Congdon's getting quite a following, at least in the UK, and her Etsy store is called Stitch Rovia, all one word, so you might want to check her out. She does lots of really cool, she used to be a graphic designer, I think, so she's the way that she approaches her designs is quite similar. This is really different, but I thought it was quite cool. I don't really agree that it's a Christmas one. It's supposed to be, but I don't really think it is. But this is by somebody called Carol Thornton. Yeah, I see that as more autumnal colours than Christmas colours, but I suppose people see things differently. And the final one for this issue, which I really like, is a Joan Elliott piece. I don't know who I would give this to be honest, because I don't know that many grandmothers. But it's nice. It's just when I'm trying to read it backwards, just when a mother thinks her work is done, she becomes a grandmother. So, maybe for my mother-in-law actually, because she's a grandmother, not through us, but through my partner's sister. So maybe for her. Issue 1 to 4. So basically after this there's 2 issues that I haven't read that I need to kind of look at before I can show you. Cross Stitch Gold looks like this. So this was Joan Elliott, another Joan Elliott one, another quite ethereal fairy tales type one that I quite liked. Then we have this one, which was by Deborah Page, which was quite cool. I wish it was a black cat that looked like my cat, but there you go. It's a nice one. I thought that was quite cool. That's that. And last one, you'll be glad to know, is issue 127, Cross Stitch Gold. One of the most recent ones, I think. So the ones in here that I liked, quite a few. This is by Duran Jones again. I thought this was really nice. Sort of summery spring design. Duran Jones again, birth sampler. Might be one for my little confetti. I like that it's in greens and yellows. I'm not a massive fan of all this blue and pink stuff for babies, so I thought that was quite nice. Especially pink for girls. Not too bad blue for boys, but pink for girls makes me cringe a bit. So it's probably the feminist in me. I just don't really like all that sort of frilly stuff. But Lucy Heaton, this one's quite nice. It's like a ballerina. Duran Jones, again, I think the reason why the same names keep coming up is unfortunately they do get a bit stale with the designers that they use, but they're good designers, so you know. This is like a Celtic sort of, I'd probably change the colours. I don't, it's too pastel-y for my liking, but I think you could change the colours to sort of some golds and blacks maybe, so make it a bit more Game of Thronesy. But that's cool. So that's the last one of the Cross Stitch Gold magazines, and I really think I've taken ages over that, so I think I'm going to leave my video there, which is good because what it does is it gives me some stuff to show you. So next video I can talk to you about the Ultimate Cross Stitch Sentiments sample, the things that I liked from there, and Cross Stitch Crazy I have loads to show you. That's my favourite Cross Stitch magazine, so that's usually the one where I kind of find things that I really like. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a really good stitchy week, month, year. I am so behind on videos. I'm still on my project from last time I showed you, which is Stash Queen, just getting through all of her videos because I want to be really up to date with her. And I had a theory that I would do that with some people like Carolyn Mazzio, who I'm now really out of touch with what she last posted. People that, you know, my favourite kind of ones really. And then I will watch others as and when they come up. So I'm really sorry if I haven't seen a video that you've posted recently. I'm probably on Katie's channel. I'm something like still in October with the videos that she's been posting, so I'm going to be a while. But I've got a little bit of kind of a thing about I like to watch things in order, so I was trying to do that with hers really. Again, probably really rubbish on things like comments and stuff. I do occasionally kind of think, oh, I'll log on and I'll do my comments, but life just seems to have a habit of distracting me from stuff like that. I also meant to say magazine wise, I have Cross Stitcher and World of Cross Stitching to go through as well, so I will also maybe do a magazine session sometime soon. So thank you for watching, thanks for bearing with me, and have a lovely week. See you soon, bye.